Subscribe to Automation Studio channel and hit on bell icon to get the new video notification, and it's absolutely free. Hey guys, this is Praveen from Automation Studio. So in this video we will see scroll or swipe left to right or right to left. So this is the continuation series of my earlier video. I will put the link of my earlier video in the description box. In order to understand this video, you may need to visit my earlier video related to the scroll. So because we have implemented one generic method which we are going to use in this video, so please find the link for my earlier videos in the description box. So let's start. So far we have seen scroll up and down, and now in this video we are going to see how to scroll from left to right or right to left. So I'm gonna open my app, and here is one of the example for swipeable minimal. So if you will swipe from left to right or right to left, so what it will do, it will remove the item from the list. If you are able to see, I am performing the swipe and it is removing the item from the list, and list is getting shorter and shorter, and at the end there will be no element on the UI. So we are not going to perform this typical scenario over here, but yeah, we will give a try to remove one of the element or certain element from the list, and we can see how we can generalize that. Okay, I'm gonna create one new class, okay, because this is the earlier class which we have seen in the earlier video. So I'm going to create a new class here. I have named with swipe example, and I'm gonna copy paste the same example here, and whatever the necessary change will be there, I will instruct you during this video. Okay, so I just copy paste the same logic. Let me name as swipe. Okay, now what we need to do here, we need to change it to swipe, because previously we are dealing with some other tab. Now we have to deal with the second tab, which name is swipe. Let me show you on the app. So here is the swipe tab, and we need to click on this first option. So swipe is for the upper tab, and this is for the button. So the button name is swipeable, I guess minimal, something like that. So yeah, swipeable minimal. So it will click on that particular name, and then it will open the UI which I just shown you. So what we will do, we will just launch up to that level first, and then we'll put our logic over there. So I'm gonna just comment the code and going to run this script. What it will do, it will just go to swipe, and it will click on the first option, swipeable minimal, which is the first button on the UI. So it is launching the app, it is clicking on swipe, it is hitting the swipeable minimal, and yeah, list is over here. So now there is no further code, so it is just stopped there, and quit the script successfully. So now what we are going to do here, so we will put here logic, and before that we will understand how we have to perform. So see, from here to here, if I will swipe, so this is the action what I need to perform. So what I am doing here, from left to right, I am dragging it, and the the element is moving from left to right. So the same logic we need to perform here. Now the scroll is from left to right, instead of vertical it is now horizontal. Okay, so this is called horizontal swipe, like left to right. Okay, if it is top to bottom, bottom to top, it will be vertical scroll or swipe. Okay, so we are dealing with now horizontal swipe. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here, this is the pretty much code which I have used in my earlier video, so I'm gonna delete it because it's no longer needed over here. Okay, so let me delete the last method also. It is no use for us as of now. I'm going to use only scroll method, so which will be sufficient in order to deal with this particular scenario. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to mention here x, y, start xy, and end xy. Okay, so this must be 20% of the screen, and then y is also will be 20% of the screen because it's on the top. Okay, and then I need to scroll the x up to 80%, but y will remain the same, because on the same position I need to drag from x only. Okay, so I'm gonna run it and let's see how does it work. So now the execution should be start, yes, and it should tap on the swipe and perform the action. Yes, it's pretty much good, but 20% is slightly down, so but it works. So let me run it again. I just changed the coordinates. Instead of 20%, I just changes 10%. So this time what it will do, let's see. So it's launching the app. And click here. Okay, so here we missed it, because the 10% it is not able to reach till that element. That's why 10% should not be a good way to scroll it. So what should be the ideal way to do this? So the ideal way is you need to capture the element on the fly on the UI, and you need to capture the coordinate of that element which you want to eliminate from left to right swipe, and accordingly you need to perform action. So what we need to do that first, we need to first capture all the elements. So what I'm going to do here, driver dot find elements by dot xpath, and I'm gonna find all the elements in the list, and I'm gonna print it. So how to do that? So as we have seen in our earlier video, I'm gonna capture list of web elements. So this method will give me list of web elements which I am capturing on the lists. Okay, now I have to figure out what should be the element XPath for that. So let me launch the inspector, Appium inspector, and then I'm gonna capture what should be the XPath for that. So let me go here. I have already saved it, capability for that particular app. So I'm gonna launch it. So once it is launched, then probably we can navigate to that screen, and then we can analyze what could be the common element XPath for all the elements. Okay, so I'm gonna click over here, and I'm gonna click on this particular button which we are doing in our script, and then it is should launch the UI page for the list. Okay, so let me refresh it. Why it is not working? Sometimes it's behave like this. Appium inspector, let me relaunch it. Sometime after relaunching, it is directly navigating to the list page. Let's see. Okay, refresh. Yes, see, so now it is refreshed the list page. So here what we can do, here we can use this class, and with this class we can use as a XPath, because this class is nothing but a generic as a XPath we can use. So like that we can use it like earlier video, and you can see it is working perfectly. So I'm gonna copy it, because it is giving me all the common elements present on that UI. So our purpose is fulfilled here. So I'm just gonna use it here, and once I will get it as a collection of elements, then like in earlier video I have shown you, in the similar way I'm gonna do that. So this is a list of element. So one by one I will be taking one mobile element in E. So list is a mobile elements list. It will iterate one by element, and that element will give me the attribute of text, and I'm gonna print it. Simple. So I'm gonna do that. So system out.println and then e.get attribute, and what will be the attribute? Text. Now let me run it, and let me see like how does it work, whether it will be able to print all the item names on the UI or not. So now it is running the test. Now it should run the test. It should click on swipe first item, and then it should print the all names. Right, correct, perfectly, it worked perfectly. So there are certain ways to do that. So what you can do, you can find out the width and height of the element. So whatever the list of element you have on the UI, so what you can do, you can find the width and the height of those elements, which will be fixed because it's a list and all the element generally have the same width and same size, right? So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to print the element width and height. So we have the element in E, so I can say get width or height. I can call the get width or get height method, or what I should have to do in order to get the width and height, I need to get the size, so which I will get in the dimension, right? So I have to use a dimension and object, and I have to call e dot get size, so which will give me the dimension, and from the dimension I will be able to extract width and height. Okay, so that's what I have used. Do it in line number 49. So I am getting the dimension, and dimension contains width and height. Now this dimension will give me x and y. Okay, x is width and y is height. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here. So I'm just calling dimension dot width and dimension dot height. I guess there is a typo. Yeah, let me correct it, and now let me use the same variable here. Yeah, so it's a dimension dot width, and then I should print here the y as well. So and y is equal to, and then I should say dimension dot height. Yep, this looks good. So let me do some spacing over here before that, because previous print will work and we will be confused like which line number we are trying to see over here. Let me give the tab, or instead tab I can give some space before that, so it should work over here. Yep, and now we are good to go with the next execution. So let's run the script. So I'm gonna run it over here. I have just cleaned my server and restarted it. Now the execution should start, and it should print all the dimension. Let's launch the app, click on the swipe, it should click on the first button, and yeah, here we go. So it's eliminate the second item as we have added in the code, and it print all the dimensions. So see, all are relatively same, all dimension width and height are same. So like that also you can judge it. So you know, you can calculate the width or the height, and you can do the logic, but I recommended like this approach is not good, so I'm not gonna use it. Just I want to show you guys how you can, you know, calculate the width and height of every element and how to print it. So that is the one of the example you can say. So but it's not gonna do anything related to this you know, swipe video over here. Okay, so I'm gonna comment this code, and I'm gonna use instead of this approach I'm gonna use coordinate approach. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm gonna comment this code, and instead of this I'm going to use the coordinate approach. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to find the coordinate of x and y. So what is the coordinate? So coordinates is the actual position where your element is aligned on the screen. Some of the elements are on the top, some elements are on the middle or bottom. So coordinates will give you the actual position of the elements. Okay, so don't be confused here, it's not get width and height, it's just a coordinate. In case you don't know, I'm just adding this point. If you are already know this fact, then it's good. So I'm just calling here e dot get coordinate, and then location, and for the location I'm calling x and y location, and just I'm executing the code now. So it should print now the actual coordinates where this element is aligned. So most probably we will should be able to print all the, you know, coordinates of all the elements. Okay, so here we are, we got all the coordinates. So if you are able to see here, we are getting the different y values, definitely because it's a list, and list is from the top to bottom. So So that's the reason y is changing. But when you will perform the swipe action from left to right, the y should be constant. It should be, let's say, for the list item number 7. So for item number 7, if you want to perform an action on item number 7 from left to right, then your y should not change. Okay, only x should change, and x should change from 36 to and up to what level you want to swipe it. So it should start from 36 and it should go further to 1000 or something like that. So you can use like that. Y should not change because y is the position where your actual element is aligned. Okay, so you should not change the y because we are dealing with horizontal swipe, we are not dealing with vertical swipe. Okay, so that is the reason behind it. So don't be confused over here as well. So when you will see y is changing, y is changing because y is changing y because it's a list and the item is aligned one by one, so definitely height coordinates should change, right? Okay, so here is our output. So now what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna do some changes in the scroll method. So what I will do, I will make a copy and do that, but before that I'm going to tell you what are those changes. So now here in this method, instead of double, we need to pass integer value because whatever the coordinates we will get here in the form of integer, it's not a double, right? So what we will do, we will pass our coordinates in this method in integers, and then it will perform the action. So that should be our goal, right? So I'm not gonna modify this particular method. I'm gonna make a copy of this method and I will say that swipe something like scroll underscore xy coordinates by xy coordinates, something like that, and then I am going to convert this start xt yd into integer because we have integer got from the output, so we are going to pass the same thing, no need to pass in the doubles. Now we are not playing in the form of percentage, we are now playing and passing our coordinates in the form of integers, right? Now we don't need to convert into in the integer again because it's already integer, so I have just removed this code as well. So now it is pretty straightforward and simple. So now the same method I will call over here, but before that we will capture few more information within our code, within our for loop, from line number 47 to 47 to line number 54, right? So I'm gonna add more code over there. I will tell you what we need to do, few changes more. Okay, so here I am going to place a if condition, and what if condition will do. So first I will check what is the name of that element, so I will compare it. So just e dot get attribute by text, if it is equal to equals, I am going to target one of the element name from the list. Okay, so this is my list, I am gonna target item 7. So let me copy it and I will say if e dot get attribute text ignores equals item 7 or item 5, right? So then what we need to do, so I am gonna capture x and y coordinate of this one, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna declare two elements before for loop. I will say as x, integer x is equal to 0 and integer y is equal to 0. Now so by using this integer x and y, I will store the coordinates of element e in that particular variable. So e dot location get x and get y. So once it is matched with the item which I am looking for, then I am storing into the xy coordinate simply, and I am breaking over here this for loop. So because I will look into this particular element which I have to remove from the list, if it is match, yes, it is exist in the list, so please capture the x and y coordinates, and then by using this xy coordinate I should pass into my method, and my method will detect, okay, on this coordinate I have to perform the action, and it will perform the swipe event. So that's what the logic I have implemented here. Okay, so I should call here my scroll by xy coordinates, and driver already I have passed. Start x and start y should be my xy coordinate which I have captured just now, and end x and end y I will pass accordingly. So here I should pass x and here I should pass y. So now I should take some margin for x, because x plus some 10%, 20%, something like that. So I'm adding just plus 20. Okay, and then from this x, because now we are performing horizontal swipe, right? So x should change. So x should change from x plus 22. So how much I need to scroll? So that thing we need to figure it out, whether we should go to 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So how to do that? So we need to take care of our app. So on our on our simulator or on our device, I have shown you one of the property. Alright, so by that you can find the coordinates, right, when you will move the cursor. So I'm gonna show you here. So just go to your phone and you have to launch the app, and then you have to go to developer options, and within the developer options you have to go to inputs, and then within the inputs you have to enable the show pointers property. Okay, so I'm doing that. I'm going into the developer option, and I'm finding the input section, and now I will say pointer location enabled. So if you are able to see, if I will move the cursor pointer, so it will show on the top, very top, the coordinate, right? So from here what I will do, I will capture the scroll event of x, how x is changing, and in my case like something like 600 or 650. So I'm gonna use that, and accordingly I will put into the in my code. Now let's run the code. So I have restarted my Appium server, and now I'm going to execute this code, whatever the changes we have made, and now whatever we have think and whatever the logic we have placed, it should work accordingly. We are good. Okay, so anything we need to add? No, we are all good. So okay, so I'm gonna run this test now, and let's see what will happen. So ideally it should open the app, and it should remove the item number 5. Okay, now it's relaunching. Now it should remove the item number 5. Yes, it did. So it worked well. Yeah, so that's what we are trying to achieve here. So it went well. So it's very easy. So by our one of the method, we have created another method, and we are able to perform the left to right swipe. So it's very easy, guys. And now I'm gonna show you how it will work on the iOS device. So I have started my Appium server. My iOS simulator is up and running, and it's one of the app which is Prido. Now due to the coronavirus, it's no longer. So I'm gonna test on that. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna do the same stuff. I have added some capability for the iOS app, and then I have placed the same code here. Now what it will do, I'm gonna run this, and on the main screen itself I have a slider on the picture. So it should run, and then it should slide the picture slider. So yeah, so yeah, are you able to see the slider, little slider? So that slider, it's gonna swipe left, and then again it will swipe the right by using our method which we have implemented. So it will be clear, like it will be working on Android and iOS device, same logic working on the both device. So that's why I have called this method as universal logic, or only one solution which works on the both of the platform. So now it is launching the app. So it is restarting the simulator, and now it is installing the WebDriver agent, and now it click on skip, and now it will perform the swipe action. See, it slide the slider, now it will slide back. Yeah, so it's working fine on the iOS as well. So I'm done with this video, guys, here. So I hope you like this video. So please subscribe my channel, like, comment, and stay tuned for upcoming videos. Thank you. Bye bye, take care.